Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, and I'm back to bring you another retro review from the Casagrandes mini-arc from Season 4 of The Loud House. So let's get right into it. Today's episode is No Show. In this episode, Ronnie Anne doesn't want to watch her family's favorite TV show, Adios Ana Adios, because she thinks telenovelas are lame, but she secretly becomes invested in the series after giving it a quick glance and does whatever she can to keep watching. Speaking from personal experience, I can relate to what Ronnie Anne went through in this episode. There was a time when I refused to watch the 2012 Littlest Pet Shop series when I first heard about it because I thought it looked stupid. But when I stumbled upon it one day when watching TV, I found it to be very enjoyable and I was quickly hooked into watching the entire first season. For a while, I didn't tell anyone because I had already made a big deal about not watching it, but eventually I decided to be honest about my new feelings about the show, and the rest is history. Initially, Ronnie Anne didn't care about Adios Ana Adios, but she changed her opinion when she saw the epic fighting skills from the main character, Anna Ronalda, who just so happens to look exactly like her and shares a strikingly similar name. Because she made such a huge fuss about hating the show, Ronnie Anne's family pushed her out of the apartment and even the Mercado so they don't have to put up with her negative attitude about it. Ronnie Anne is never given a chance to say her feelings about the show have changed, so she goes around the city trying to watch the latest episode. It turns out Adios Ana Adios is extremely popular in Great Lake City because it's on pretty much every TV in every local business. After getting screwed out of multiple chances to watch the newest episode because of some inconvenience brought upon by someone else, she finally gets to watch the episode at Margarita's beauty salon and even decides to get her hair cut in the same style as the show's main character. Not gonna lie, but Ronnie Anne looked pretty good with shorter hair. I'm surprised that wasn't the immediate dead giveaway that she was a fan of the show when she was talking to her family, but I'll talk more about the shocking revelation in just a bit. Anyway, Ronnie Anne misses out on the season finale due to helping a customer with her shopping at the Mercado, so she plans to watch the rerun the following day. In the meantime, she goes out of her way to avoid any spoilers when her family starts talking about the finale. Just before she's able to sneak out to watch the rerun, Hector spoils the ending to the finale and she's left feeling devastated. That's when she admits to actually liking the show, and she felt like she couldn't tell anyone about it because of her earlier condescending attitude. Her explanation is a little inconsistent because originally Ronnie Anne was going to tell her family she was actually starting to like the telenovela, but her family immediately pushed her away before she had the chance to say anything. Ronnie Anne was correct in saying that she should have told her family about her newfound feelings for the show sooner, except the fact is she tried to and everyone shut her down. I can sort of see why the family acted the way they did given how much they loved the show and didn't want someone who didn't like it standing around complaining and ruining everyone's good time. But still, if they had just taken a moment to listen to what she had to say instead of being dismissive, Ronnie Anne wouldn't have had to go around the city trying to watch the show in secret. I guess in a way both parties are at fault for how everything went down, but either way, this is when the shocking revelation takes place. It turns out the family knew Ronnie Anne was a fan of the show thanks to Hector gossiping with Margarita, which makes sense because Margarita was the one who gave Ronnie Anne the same haircut as Ana Ronalda. They purposely made Ronnie Anne miss the finale by having Maybelle serve as a distraction, and the spoilers they were talking about earlier were completely fake. So yeah, Ronnie Anne had a secret and her family knew what it was the whole time, but they pretended not to know and they put her through all that torment just so they could rub it in her face. Normally I would say that's pretty mean-spirited given that's what the Loud Sisters did to Lincoln in Sound of Silence, but the difference here would be that Ronnie Anne was actually impressed with what her family did. Plus, her family didn't make her do anything demeaning just to teach her a lesson. Ronnie Anne was the one doing strange things to herself to avoid the supposed spoilers. Her family didn't physically make her do anything. So when you think about it, she was the one putting herself through all that stress, and all her family had to do was sit back and let her go crazy without any of them doing anything directly. Kinda cruel, but still very sneaky and clever. Anyway, the family gathers around for the season finale they had recorded the day prior, and just before Ronnie Anne decides to head out when it's over, she decides to stay when a telenovela about pro wrestling is about to start. Given how much I love wrestling, I don't blame her for canceling her plans. I'd be doing the same exact thing. Overall, this episode is okay when it comes to the story and how Ronnie Anne's character was presented, but it falls flat in several places at the beginning and towards the end. While I understand the family's reasoning for not wanting Ronnie Anne around them when watching their telenovela, They never give her a chance to say she actually started liking the show, and that was very off-putting of them. Ronnie Anne was on the verge of apologizing for being so condescending very early on in the plot, but her family immediately tuned her out. That's why I don't fully buy into Ronnie Anne saying she couldn't tell anyone the truth because she was being a total snob about the show at the beginning. If the story had been set up to where Ronnie Anne was watching the show in private and still acting like a jerk around her family at the same time, her explanation would have made more sense. Hell, she could have tried acting more condescending and irritating by trying to shut down everyone when they were discussing the finale by talking loudly or something along those lines. That would have been a good way of letting everyone know she really hated the show while also trying to avoid spoilers for a show she actually liked at the same time. But regardless, some of my highlights include the many scenes from Adios Anna Adios. Everything from the fighting to the reveal of the show's main villain, i.e. Anna's long-lost twin sister. I can see why so many people like watching it. We also get an introduction to the character Maybelle, voiced by the talented Thelma Hopkins. When it comes to grocery shopping, her character is such a mood. That's the best way to describe her. And finally, my favorite funny moment was Carlotta's face when she thinks about what Anna Ronaldo was going to wear in the latest episode. Like, what kind of facial expression was that? It was so adorably goofy. But yes, between my top highlights and the family's little trick they play on Ronnie Anne, this was a fine and relatable episode to serve as the midway point for the Casagrandes mini arc. Not amazing, just fine. With that said, I give No Show a 7 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of No Show. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.